First of all, congratulations to the two of you. Outstanding jobs. And
Thank you.
I can't even imagine, not even just as actors, but as human beings, how emotionally draining and important it was to be in a film like this.
Yes, it was. I mean, it particularly, I'm from Boston. I still have family in Boston. So it was something that in the wrong hands could not be handled so well, but I think the hands that it was in were perfect. Mark Wahlberg, Peter Berg. It was just, for me, it was, a wonderful thing to be a part of, because it is about the celebration of overcoming evil. That's ultimately, it's not a gratuitous film. It's about overcoming. That's what Boston Strong is.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about Mark and his passion for this. I mean, you spent most of your time working with him, but just because, obviously, him being from Boston, and I can't even imagine that this is not the most important thing he's done in his entire career.
I would agree with you on that. It was very apparent from the first time I spoke to him and Pete on the phone that, their vision for this film was only about honoring the authenticity of what happened on that day, to honor the victims. All the first-hand accounts, they took so much time and went through so much information and spent time with people and families of the victims. And it was, from the moment I got with him on the phone to every day on the set, he was conversing with people and talking to people, and really, they were so sensitive. And it was about honoring and as Michael said, celebrating the people that had the most courageous, acts that day, people who showed the acts of compassion, because those are the things that people need to be reminded of, what we're all capable of in terms of processing things like this, but also ultimately being resilient and overcoming.
And how important was it to have, real people by your side? I mean, the governor, or, whatever, just having them there. And I mean, I don't know, I'd be breaking into tears every 5 minutes.
Yeah, well, ultimately, I think it's a hopeful film, so I think you have to show the tragedy in order to show how amazing it is that you overcome these things, and I think that's one of the great things that this film does. I really do.
Yeah. What did you learn about the people of Boston after making this?
Boy, they're a tough bunch. Yeah, they really are. I worked in Boston many years ago, and I sort of knew that then. But really being a part of this film, and the support that they gave us from day one, showing their gratitude for being there, and I think they believed that we were well-intentioned, that our hearts were in the right place. And really, there was a day that we reenacted the bombing scene, the finish line, and to see the number of people that came out and essentially relived that day, the first responders, the police officers, marathoners, people that really endured it and once again showed up. They really exemplified what Boston Strong is all about.
Yeah, and for you, Boston Strong, what does it mean now?
Well, it means patriotism for me. I mean, I think the title of this film is so perfect, and I think this film, although it's about Boston, I mean, it represents not just America, but the whole world, because the whole world is actually going through these horrific acts from terrorism, and this is the way. Patriots Day is the way to respond. That's what this film is about.
Oh, I so completely agree with you. We can't be intimidated. We have to be outside.
Absolutely.
So, well, congratulations to the two of you, and happy holidays. Hope you have a good one.
Thank you.